Chris, right here. Other side. I feel like you and Terrance have kind of been tied to each other for a few years now. So I guess how's it feel to be finally a few days away from actually getting to enter the octagon with him?
Yeah, it's kind of like that girlfriend that never went away. Just like eventually we're getting it. We're going to get the fight, and looking forward to putting on a great performance.
Did you think you would eventually actually Did you think you would actually get to fight Terrance? Because at the time it made sense, but then maybe your careers went in different directions for a bit. Is this a fight you wanted, or is it just at the time it presented itself and that was just the fight in front of me?
Yeah, it's definitely the fight I wanted. To make good fights, you need a good dance partner, and Terrance is that. So, it's like the UFC is such a big machine. You just don't know what they're going to pull out the bag. And I was calling for this fight to my manager quite frequently. So, I'm just super excited to now show the world.
And when you guys were first tied together, I remember he called you out at like a media day or a media scrum, and then you kind of clapped back at him on Instagram. Was there any actual bad blood, or was that just selling the fight, and at this point it's just your job and you're going to fight each other?
Oh, it's definitely not bad blood. There'll be bad blood on Saturday night, I can tell you that. There's no friends in this game, and I'm sure he knows that. I'm going to go out there and try and kill him on Saturday night. And we spoke a little bit over social media, and years ago, I remember he messaged me when we were first scheduled to fight, and he said, he's like, I'm looking forward to compete against you. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, we're not going to be competing, we're going to be fighting. So just remember that.
And I feel like everyone knows what Terrance is going to try to do in there. He's going to try to get you out of there in round one. So I guess what are you expecting from him? Is it just as simple as that? Survive round one, put him away round 2 and 3, or I guess what do you see from Terrance?
I'm just going to take it as it comes, plan A, plan B, plan C, get in there and move a little bit and make sure I don't get hit with those big long 1-2s, big high kicks, big knees. I feel he's, without being disrespectful, I feel he's pretty one-dimensional in the sense that, he hasn't been out the first round and won. If we get into the second and third, you seen from my last performance, like how hard I can push myself, and I know how far I can push myself, but maybe you guys don't know because you haven't seen it. In many fights, you've only seen it in one. But I work my ass off 24/7, 7 days a week, and there's not a minute of the day that goes by that I do not think about MMA and the UFC. So I'm ready to put on a show.
So I also, when Terrance win or lose, a lot of times he's like, even when he does lose, it's a fight of the night kind of thing, like that Drew Dober fight, right?
Yep.
I feel like when they matched you up, people are like, oh, fight of the night potential, but that usually means it's a close fight. So do you take that as maybe an insult that people think it's a fight of the night? Because I assume you just want to get this over with quick and have it not be so close.
They can say what they want as long as I get my 50K at the back pocket, then I'll be happy. But yeah, I'll go out there and try and finish everyone. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. You need to have the Orion's belt of MMA on the night. Sometimes people sleep in for work and things happen. Sometimes it's hard to put everything together on the night. I am getting so much better day in, day out, American Top Team right now, that I am the best. You probably hear this every single week, like, this is the best version of me. I can wholeheartedly say that I am getting better every camp, and this is the best version of me. So I have no excuses when it comes Saturday night. I can't come and say, oh, I was injured, or that doesn't happen with me. I go out there, put on a performance, and go home and see my family. So there's no excuses. This is the best camp I've ever had. And there'll be no excuses if I lose, which won't happen.
And just last one for me, I have to ask, all the lightweights about this, all the title fights that were announced with the interim fight not involving Arman and Ilya being on the sidelines. So considering this is your weight class, what did you make of that fight announcement? And, Arman seems to be the name that people were surprised wasn't involved in the interim fight.
Honestly, I really couldn't give a fuck about it all. It's just, these names are above me right now. I'm so far away from that right now that I don't even think about it. It's like, people get so dealt into it about who they think deserves this and who they think deserves that. Dana White, the UFC, Sean Shelby, Mike, all these sorts of people, Hunter, they decide. It's not everybody else's job. And the thing is as well, there's a bigger narrative around that as well, because Paddy and Justin fighting, and then people are talking about that. It's big news. And it's just as big as maybe it would be if Arman was to fight for the title, So, any publicity is good publicity, as they say. So it's good to, everybody's talking about the UFC now, and it's beginning to be the fastest growing, well, it is the fastest growing sport in the world right now, and it's going to be the biggest. It's going to, I think, it will take over the NFL, basketball, all these sorts of things. Done. Only one. God's sake.